Huh? My story?
You were meeting with Miu, but she ended up as the victim. So it's only natural for us to think you're the killer, right?
Here's my answer. I never met up with Miu.
You didn't?
I tried to go to the roof to meet up with her, but the door was locked.
But isn't lockpicking your specialty? You should have been able to open it easy.
I couldn't pick locks with my avatar body. I didn't have the tools for it either. Also, I never went to the roof, not even for the meeting.
I remember. You and Gonta went off together when we first started looking.
But was the door to the roof actually locked? When I was on the roof before logging out, the door wasn't locked.
Huh? How should I know?
Then who locked the door?
I already
When I went to the roof, it wasn't locked, so you gotta be lying.
What good would it be if I lied? I don't want to die either, you know.
Lying would do you a lot of good if you're the culprit.
Oh, I see. I didn't realize that.
What kind of response is that? That's suspicious as hell!
Wait, Before we get to that, we need to discover the truth behind Miu's death. Truth? There were mysterious circumstances surrounding her death. We need to make sense of those first.
Wow, Shuichi, you know your way around this game. Yes, keep up the hard work. The fate of our lives rests in your hands.
So, what is this strange circumstance? Kokichi claims it was Miu who chose the meeting place. But I'm wondering how she got from the chapel to the mansion's roof.
I see. Miu sent the bridge connecting the mansion and chapel into the river herself.
If that's the case, then Miu might not have even gone to the roof.
Huh? So she stood me up? It's very rude to break a promise. Miu was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Miu should have been at the chapel. If you look at where her avatar fell, it's right next to the chapel.
How would she have gotten to the mansion? There was no bridge over the river.
A bridge would be the only way to get across. Oh no!
Miu was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No, Miu should... fell. It's right next to the chapel.
How would she have gotten to the mansion? There was no bridge over the river.
A bridge would be the only way to get across.
So, her meeting with Kokichi...
She stood me up! Miu was waiting for me to arrive. I'm sure she was waiting on the rooftop of the mansion.
No. Miu should have been at the chapel.
That's wrong!
Miu must have gone to the mansion. We have a witness.
Yeah, When I was searching the dining room, I saw Miu pass by the...
Then why didn't you say so sooner?
Sorry, I thought I was just mistaken at first. Since there was no way she could have come to the mansion. But I guess I wasn't mistaken after all. That was definitely Miu.
Then, how did she get to the mansion from the chapel?
There must have been some special method only you knew, like with that cell phone.
There's no doubt about that. That's why she dropped the bridge. If a murder occurred when it was impossible to cross the river, she wouldn't be implicated. She used a secret method to move from the chapel to the mansion for the murder.
She dropped the bridge to make a huge scene just to let everyone know it's no longer there.
So, what secret method did she use?
It won't be that easy to figure out. It's called a secret method for a reason.
No worries, guys. As long as we leave it to Shuichi, everything will be A-okay.
What are you saying? We can't just rely on Shuichi all the time. This class trial's for all of us. We're here to solve this together.
You would just slow down, Shuichi.
Shut up!
A way across that only Miu knew about.
Like a hidden bridge besides that signboard, maybe.
Or, instead of bridge, Miu used some kind of vehicle to go over.
Or maybe she teleported with magic. Or she used a warp zone.
Maybe there's a place you could cross without a bridge.
A hidden route that only Miu could use to get across. Shh.
I agree. That's it, Kibo. There was a hidden route only Miu could use.
Was there really?
Miu modified the program to add a special wall to the world. The wall stretches along the y-axis, but we found 2 such walls in the virtual world. It's unclear whether Miu added the wall by the mansion or the wall near the chapel. We do know that that wall was set so that only objects could pass
Don't
through.
be naive, Shuichi.
What is it, Kaito?
Jeez, you set up a weird wall like that? That is suspicious, but it's got nothing to do with what we were talking about.
Nothing to do with it.
Huh. You don't even realize your mistake? Are you losing your edge? Oh well, my sidekick's mistakes are my mistakes. I'll make it right. What we gotta figure out is how Miu got from the chapel to the mansion. So why waste time talking if it's pointless? We gotta take a whole new approach here.
Now wait just a second. It's not actually impossible at all.
But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Miu set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Miu obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all.
I was wrong!
But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Miu set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Miu obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all. You get it? So let's go through this one more time. But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Miu set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Miu obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all. You get it? So let's go through this one more time. But you just said so, didn't you? That wall Miu set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Miu obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all. You get it? So let's go through this one more time. But you just... Miu? That wall Miu set up only lets non-human objects go through it. Humans aren't able to pass through. So Miu obviously wouldn't be able to go through that wall. She's not just an object after all.
I'll cut through your words. The wall wasn't the only thing that Miu changed. She also changed her avatar settings from human to object.
From human to object?
Which means the virtual world treated her avatar as an object. She could have passed through a wall that only non-humans could go through.
Is that right?
Don't get ahead of yourself, Kaito. We need to listen to everything Shuichi says. I already told you, the more you try, the more you cause us trouble. It's so totally lame that your own sidekick is dissing you!
Kokichi, enough! I wasn't arguing with him. I was just explaining.
I don't care. That doesn't bother me at all. It just means even I make mistakes. Don't worry about it, Shuichi.
Okay.
It's pretty funny seeing Kaito try to act all tough like this.
Kokichi, please refrain from making such irrelevant and irrational remarks.
So, if Miu messed with the program and made a wall only she could go through...
Then her secret route was through that wall?
That's it, right? Like using a glitch in a game to walk outside the map. I bet Miu had a hidden passage like that in the back of the chapel.
But even if she could walk through walls, was there really a hidden passage? Because Miu said...
She probably lied. There would be no point in going if there was nothing on the other side.
Miu lied.
I wonder what the truth is. There's no way to find out now.
That cum-soaked urinal cake was totally lying about there being nothing past the wall. She lived a life of pride, vulgarity, and secrets. Lying would be a piece of cake for her.
Kokichi, you don't have to go that far.
Stop it! Don't badmouth Mommy!
Monotaro?
Listen to you, talking about Mommy like she was a terrible lying whore. But Mommy wasn't lying. There was no hidden route in that virtual world.
Oh, there wasn't, huh?
Hey! You can't tell them such an important hint!
Oh, if you say that hint is important, then I guess it must be true.
Oh, shoot!
Ah, jeez. You're lucky you're cute. So now that we know there's no hidden route, why did she manipulate the program? If there's actually nothing past the wall, then that setting was meaningless.
Miu wouldn't have done something meaningless. She would have had a plan.
Yes. Miu definitely wanted to be able to go through that wall for a reason. We aren't sure why yet, but once we solve the mystery of the virtual world...
Mystery of virtual world?
There have been a lot of strange occurrences in the virtual world. If we can determine why, we will also determine what Miu was up to. We'll know why she wanted to pass through the wall.
All right, let's clear up those strange occurrences.
Yeah, Gonta will help, even though Gonta not know what you're talking about.
Speaking of strange occurrences, I'm just plain worried about that one thing. Remember? That thing that made us notice all the strange occurrences?
This is it! You mean the loud sound that you and I heard in the kitchen?
You all heard that sound too?
Yes, in the mansion's kitchen.
But that sound occurred near the chapel. How did you hear it all the way at the mansion?
First off, sound can't go past the map loading point. Did that sound really come from the chapel?
That sound was something hitting the chapel wall. It was real loud.
And we definitely heard it. We heard Kibo's voice as well.
You heard my voice too?
What? That is pretty strange.
Exactly. That has to be some kind of clue to the mystery of the virtual world.
Okay, well, let's check the answers later and try to find all the other clues first. There was another mysterious phenomenon in the virtual world, wasn't there?
Kokichi talked like he noticed something, pretending not to know.
Even Gonta is suspicious of me? I always thought you would be the one to trust me!
Sorry, Gonta not mean it like that.
There's no need to apologize to him. He's probably just lying again.
What was the other strange occurrence? Did you see it, Shuichi?
I see it! The sign that we were using as a bridge was odd to me.
Odd how?
We mentioned it before, but Miu dropped the sign in the river. We found it later, but there was something unnatural about it.